Good morning, dear students. How are you today? Hope you are fine. Today we are going to take a story, Alice in Wonderland, for primary 4, and we will complete it with chapter 8. So please go and get your storybook and open page 31. I will start to read with you the story. So, chapter 8, Alice had to return to the game. She looked around for her hedgehog. It was arguing with another hedgehog, while her flamingo were over on the other side of the garden. Alice quickly went to get her flamingo, but when she returned, her hedgehog wasn't there. The arcs were also not there, so Alice decided to go back to the Cheshire Cat. A huge crowd was around the cat, and the king and the queen were quarreling with the executioner. The executioner said there must be a body to cut off a head from. The king disagreed. Anything with a head can have its head cut off. Everything else is nonsense. The queen said, "Well, you must do something about that now. Otherwise, off with your heads." Alice couldn't think of anything to say, so she cried out, "The cat belongs to the Duchess. You must ask her about it." "She's in prison," the queen said. "Bring her here." As everyone waited for the Duchess, the cat's head started to disappear. And when the Duchess finally arrived, the cat was no longer there. The executioner and the king looked everywhere for it, while everyone else went back to the game. "I'm so glad to see you again, my dear," the Duchess said, taking Alice's hands into her own and walking beside her. Alice was glad to see the Duchess in such a good mood. "The game is going better now," she said. "Yes," said the Duchess, "because love makes the world go round." "Doesn't the world go round if everyone minds their own business?" Alice asked. "Oh, well, that is the same thing," said the Duchess. "You know, I'm a little bit afraid of your flamingo. Flamingos and mustard both bite. And the true meaning of this is birds of feather flock together." "But mustard isn't a bird," Alice said. "It's a vegetable, I think. It doesn't look like one, but it is." "I quite agree with you, and the true meaning of this is," please turn the page on page 32, said the Duchess, but suddenly she began to shake with fear. Alice looked up, and there stood the queen in front of them with a very angry face. "A fine day, your majesty," the Duchess said in a low and scared voice. "Listen to me," said the queen. "You leave now, or I cut off your head. Take your choice." The Duchess disappeared in a second. "Come on, let's continue with the game," the queen said to Alice. Alice was too frightened to say a word and followed her to the croquet ground. The game started again, but the queen was angry and shouted, "Off with his head," or "Off with her head," for the other players. The soldiers were taking people to prison all the time, and soon there weren't any more arcs or players. The only one on the croquet ground were the king, the queen, and Alice. The queen turned to Alice and said, "Have you seen the mock turtle yet?" "No," said Alice. "I don't even know what a mock turtle is." "It's the thing you make mock turtle soup with," said the queen. "Come on, let's go to it. It will tell you its story." They soon came upon a griffon lying asleep in the sun. Please, if you took picture number 33, you will find the purple griffon. "Get up, lazy," said the queen. Take this young lady to the mock turtle to hear its story. I must go back and see about some executions. As soon as she was gone, the Griffon laughed. Don't worry, she never executes anyone, it said. It's all talk. Let's go and find the mock turtle. The strange animal was sitting on a rock on the seashore. Alice sat with it and the Griffon and asked it to tell its story. Again, if you check the picture in page 33, you will find the mock turtle sitting on the rock. Then, once started the mock turtle with tears in its eyes. I was a real turtle. Its story was long and very strange, and it went on for a long time. It was in the middle of a song when they heard a voice calling, "The trial is beginning." "Come on," cried the Griffon, and taking Alice by the hand, they began to run without waiting for the mock turtle to finish. And that it was with chapter 8. Please, I want you to check the presentation with me. The first slide is Alice in Wonderland, chapter 8. The next one, the main points, the main important points in this chapter. Alice saw the queen and the king in the croquet game, and they were quarreling all the time because the queen was angry. Then the Duchess was in the game and disappeared with the Cheshire cat. 10 soldiers, 10 courtiers, 10 royal children and guests, among them was the white rabbit, followed the king and the queen to the garden. The Griffon took Alice to meet the mock turtle. So those were the main idea of this chapter. Let's check the next slide. It's the question. So let's check them together. Did Alice find her hedgehog when she returned to the game? No, she didn't. So number 2, why was the game going better later? Because the Duchess thought that love makes the world go round. Number 3, what is the true meaning of both flamingo and mustard both bite? The true meaning of this is birds of feathers flock together. Number 4, I ask you to describe the mock turtle. It was a strange animal, was sitting crying on a rock on the seashore, telling Alice a long, sad story. For number 5, a fine day, Your Majesty, comment, and I said before, the comment question, I ask you 3 questions. Who said these words? To whom and why or when or where? So, a fine day, Your Majesty. These words were said by the Duchess to the Queen when she saw her suddenly and the Duchess to shake with fear. I just want to tell you something. I don't get the answers from anywhere. I just read the story well, so you are going to pick out the questions from it. It's not hard, but I need you to read it focusedly. The next slide, please. Number 5, it's a comment question 2. There must a body to cut off head from. So who said these words? These words were said by the executioner to the king and the queen when the queen ordered to cut the head of the Cheshire cat. And then for the complete questions, number 1, don't worry, she never anyone, so she never executes anyone. I guess the Griffon said these words to Alice. Number 2, the trial is beginning. So that's the underlined word for the complete. And I hope you understand this lesson well. Study it hard. See you later.